This is the story so far. I'm Aaron.
I'm Steven.
And welcome to the show this week.
We're doing it a little early because unforeseen, well actually they were foreseen, circumstances caused it to either be today or later in the week. We decided today's better than most.
I'm surprised, frankly.
Me too.
Actually, we're both going out of town this week, so yeah, we decided to do the show a little bit early, and should be a good show. Hopefully, I have a lot to talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't even know what that said.
Anyway, go ahead and start us off, Steven.
Alright, well, let's go with sporting news a little bit first. The San Francisco Giants won the World Series. Yay.
Congratulations to them.
Yes, I'm not a big fan, but whatever, you know. Congratulations. The NHL is still locked out. I know we've never talked about it, mainly because I don't care about it. But they're still locked out, so don't even know the issues or anything, but whatever.
It's the same with any of them.
More
it's
money.
always about the money.
And some big news, I don't know if anybody's Oklahoma City fans, but James Harden was traded to the Houston Rockets. And as our producer reminded me, the Jazz finished the preseason with the highest three-point field goal percentage in the whole NBA at 42.9%. So
Nice.
go Jazz.
Way to go, Jazz.
Might be a good year for us. And I say might because I don't really know.
Always the possibility at the beginning of the season.
Yes. All right, on to some...
Oh, whoa. We're going to skip over the NFL?
No, we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but a hurricane just landed in New Jersey today and is moving its way into New York. Did you know that? Hey? It's actually killed 3 people.
Ooh.
I have a story related to this too.
What's the name of the hurricane?
Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, she probably wouldn't be blowing in if she wasn't pissed off at Patrick.
Well, that's just because Patrick's dumb. Anyway, so my wife and I, we have a friend who works for AT&T customer support with Teleperformance, and these people are calling in, where's my phone at? I want my phone. It's stuck in New York because there's a hurricane. I don't care. Why did I even pay for the overnight shipping or whatever? And she's like, I'm sorry, it's delayed because of a hurricane. I don't care. I want my phone.
Piss me off, you little pig-ass son of a bitch.
Yeah. Pissing me off. People are so stupid and inconsiderate.
Yeah, my cousin and his wife are stuck back there. They've had some family tragedies this week, and they're trying to find some plane tickets to get out here, and their prices have shot through the roof. Flights are canceled. I highly doubt that they're going to make it this weekend for a very important funeral. Yeah, the storm's really messing up the eastern seaboard.
Sucks. In related news, a crane also collapsed in New York because of the hurricane.
I saw that.
So, and then Madonna, she endorsed Obama, and I guess she was booed off stage. I just find that funny. I don't really care who wins. I know you and I have talked about this several times, but I just don't know enough about people's policies, the 2 policies that they have and everything, so I just don't care.
You know, I'm going to keep my personal political opinion to myself on this show.
Thank you.
Yeah, anybody wants to talk to me about it off the show, you know.
Don't do it.
I'll let you know who I'm voting for.
Don't do it.
But on the show, you know, I'll stay neutral. Yeah, haha. See, it's not working for you. What? Yeah. Huh? What? Yeah. See.
Oh, don't make me beg, madam. Guess who? You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just fine. Or tie it in a knot, your choice.
Anyways, so that's all I have for right now. Would you care to carry on?
Yeah, because of the situation that we're in financially as a country in our recession. One big story that I saw today was that the band Bon Jovi are lowering their ticket prices, so make their their concerts more affordable to
That's cool.
everyone. Which, yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I know that in the past few years, probably the past 10 to 15 years, their ticket prices have been through the roof. They are still a very, very popular band. You know, I still enjoy some of their music. Not a whole lot these days, but still occasionally I'll hear a song that I like that's new. But I was a fan of their older stuff, so that's good news for people for that. In movie news, the Wolverine, new movie about Wolverine from the X-Men. It's coming out in July of 2013. The director has stated that this next version of it is not going to be a prequel. It's going to be more of a sequel. Actually, maybe even a standalone movie. It is going to have some flashbacks in it or dream sequences that actually have Famke Janssen in it as the Phoenix lady from the rest of the X-Men movies, Jean Grey. That's right.
And you call yourself a comic book fan.
I had a brain fart for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so she's going to appear in it as Jean Grey in some sort of sequences. As we know, in X-Men 3, she dies. So it'll be interesting to see how they work her into it. And then also, fans of Boogie Nights. Don't know if how many of you are still out there, but the director of that movie has come out and said there will be no Boogie Nights 2. So Dirk Diggler as a character is dead at this moment as far as
So sad.
no continuation there. So, you know, we went to, well, man, I'm not going off your notes here, champ, but I'm moving on to what happened this last weekend. We went to the Maverick and the Sweetheart Rebellion concert at Five Monkeys. It was a Halloween costume party, and it was a fun time. They played with My Stage Exit. You know, live they really didn't sound that good, but just a little while ago I was listening to some of their music on Reverb Nation, and they didn't sound too bad. One thing of note for that band though is their bassist. His name is Stephen Gene Simmons, and he is actually the bassist for Five State Killing Spree also. So he's now playing in two different bands, and I think we're going to try and contact him and see if we can't get an interview with him specifically, and then maybe see if we can get one or both those bands on the show and do some interviews with them also.
Okay.
So, but,
I wasn't able to be there and that sucked. But you said it was pretty good?
That happens. It was all right. Yeah, we actually ended up leaving a little early because we were just a little tired. You know, getting old. Anyway,
Wow, midnight's early?
I
You
know.
really are getting old.
I know we're getting old, but going to Vegas this week, so we'll see how often we make it in before midnight. And just to keep you guys informed, I am planning on doing some shooting down there with hopefully the camera. Hopefully I'll be able to remember to take it, but if not, I'm definitely taking the iPod. So I will be trying to film some segments here and there. We'll see what I get, and hopefully get some stuff posted up later this week from Vegas, and should hopefully be a good time. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Going down to do a lot of sightseeing as far as shows and different things that they have outside. Not really going down to do too much gambling this time around, but should be a really good time. So we'll see what we get and hopefully get some good stuff on camera. And you know, I'll be down there for Halloween, so hopefully we get to catch a lot of freaks on camera. See how that goes.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's pretty much all I got for right now, so let's turn it back over to you, champ.
Alright, I'm going to go back to movies. I know we talked about this, a couple of these last week, maybe just one of them, I don't know. But Iron Man 3 comes out May 3rd, 2013. I watched the trailer on it. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's the one we talked about.
We did. Trailer looks good. You know, the thing that I didn't like about Iron Man 1 was they brought in this dude that took over Tony's old Iron Man armor and made him the main villain, and I didn't think that worked out too well. In Iron Man 2, they brought in Whiplash, who in the comics has just been a minor character, and they brought him to the forefront to be the main villain in that movie. And I thought that was done better, but I still didn't think that was as good of a movie as they could have. In the new one, in Iron Man 3, they're having the Mandarin as as the main villain, I think, and they're going to have some other minions in there, so it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. The first trailer that we've seen is you know, very preliminary, so it'll be interesting to see some of the future trailers that they're going to come out with. But you know, what we saw in that trailer was definitely top notch.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to that movie.
Yes. Then we talked about other movies that Marvel's coming out with. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is due to come out. They haven't set an official date yet, but it's either April 2nd or the 4th, 2014.
The thing that's interesting about that one, about the Amazing Spider-Man, that I've heard recently is if you saw the first one, you saw Gwen Stacy was the lead female, and in the next one, they're actually talking about bringing Mary Jane into it.
Yep.
Which, you know, if you've seen the first 3 Spider-Mans that were made with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, you should know who Mary Jane is. And they're talking about introducing her into this series of the Spider-Man films in the Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. So it'll be interesting to see how they introduce her, because they are, you know, Gwen Stacy is still in there. So it'll be interesting to see the mixture of those two in that one.
Yes. Also, sometime in 2014, Avengers 2 will come out. They haven't set even a preliminary date on that one, just 2014.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
I thought they had set a date for that.
Nope. I thought they had as well, but they have not. Not an official, this is the day we're releasing it date.
Yeah.
So, and then Hulk 3.
And now, where have you heard anything about a Hulk movie? Because everything I've heard, they're not doing the Hulk in another movie yet.
I get Fandango notifications in my email, and that's where I get all this from.
And Fandango has come out and said they are doing Hulk 3.
Yes.
Because I subscribe to a bunch of other entertainment sites, and they're usually on top of that. I mean, that's some pretty big news that I have not heard about yet. So I will look into it, and I will confirm that from another site, so that Fandango is not our only source on that. But Fandango is a trusted site, so you know, if they've heard about it, then I don't doubt it too much. But we'll have to check into it.
Yes.
So
I agree. All right. Now I guess we'll go to NFL scores, because I'm done with entertainment news. Unless you have something else.
no, I'm good for now.
All right. Well, there's a game on right now, and it's San Francisco and Arizona. And San Francisco's up 10-0. About 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Tampa Bay beat Minnesota. My Eagles lost to the Falcons.
And that honestly was a poor showing for your team, unfortunately, dude. And you know, last week we made a bet that.
Gotta bring that into it. Huh?
Oh, we definitely got to bring it into it. Steven said that that Andy Reid was 13-0 coming out.
I was just quoting what ESPN told me.
No, that's what they said. He was 13-0 coming out of his bye week, and
now he's 13-1. Is that what your text was about? There's always a first for something.
yeah, last week was his bye week, and this week they got beat.
Yes, they did.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season, because I'll talk more about that here in just a second after we get through some of these scores. But at the end of the season, there's going to be some shakeups on some teams.
So I was watching ESPN the other night after the games were over. How would you like to be the one team talked about? Yeah, some teams just know how to win them, and other teams just know how to lose them. How would you like to be the team that just knows how to lose them?
Well, you got to be talking about the Jets.
Nope, Carolina Panthers.
Oh.
They lost by a field goal. Well, they lost by 1 point on a made field goal right at the end of the game to the Bears.
Yeah.
So, Cleveland beat San Diego by 1. Detroit beat Seattle. Green Bay beat Jacksonville. Indianapolis beat Tennessee.
And have you seen the touchdown from that game? In the Indianapolis-Tennessee game? Mm-hmm. One of the receivers goes out, catches the ball, and then he's running for the end zone. And the dude dives and twists, and he's basically doing a 360 in the air, and gets the ball up and over into the end zone just before he goes out of bounds.
Really?
They're saying on it was on Yahoo today that they're saying this might be the greatest play of the season.
Oh, jeez.
So it was pretty good. It was a pretty good play. So I definitely recommend you hunt that down on YouTube or something
and check out my email. I get yardbarker.com. They send me emails every morning.
Yeah.
New England beat St. Louis. Not a surprise there. Miami kicked the crap out of the Jets.
Honestly, with that game, I expected that one to be a lot closer, but I did not expect the Jets to change the outcome there. I expected them to lose, but I thought it would be by a closer margin, being the Dolphins.
Yeah. Pittsburgh won over Washington. Oakland beat Kansas City. The Giants beat Dallas.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the Pittsburgh game.
Oh,
Holy
God, their
smoke.
throwback jerseys.
Wow, man, who sent the Pittsburgh Bumblebees into the game?
That's what Amy said. She's like, why do they look like bumblebees?
Yeah, what a poor choice for colors back then. Wow.
Yep.
So, but that was, they did an awesome job in that game.
They did.
So,
The Giants beat Dallas.
let's talk about
Almost
that game.
lost that game still,
Dude,
too.
I told you last week that I honestly did not know if they were going to pull that game out. Fortunately, they did, but had that receiver not landed down with his hand out of bounds, they would have lost that game.
Yep.
So, a good little piece of fortune right there for my guys, but they still pulled it out, and they pulled it out in Dallas. They're undefeated in that stadium against Dallas. So, which is cool. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I gotta say, they actually lucked out this week. So.
This week. And Denver
Oh,
beat
I'm sorry.
Orleans.
What? Whose team is atop of the NFC East?
I don't know. I don't know anybody who likes the New York Giants.
That's right. They're number 1, baby.
Oh, jeez. And Denver beat New Orleans.
That was a pretty good game. I watched some of that game last night. So.
I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Peyton's starting to bring that team together, and they were talking about it last night on I'd like to say it was the halftime show of that game. It may have been afterward, but their first part of their season was like the hardest for them, and now the rest of the season, the teams they're playing are pretty easy, so they could actually pull out and make a run for the top of the AFC. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them for the rest of the season.
Yes.
So.
Alright. I think your team has a bye. Oh, no.
No, my
They
team's
play
playing
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh this week.
Come on, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Dallas is hopefully going to lose against Atlanta.
Atlanta
I'd like to
is
see
on
Atlanta.
fire, dude.
I agree. I'd like to see them lose, but I don't want them to lose to Dallas.
No, I mean, right now they are the best team in football.
Yes.
Nobody can say anything different because they're the only undefeated team in football.
Yep.
So, Definitely doing good.
And then hopefully, I was just gonna say, what my Eagles need is a team that they can easily beat, and just go out and stomp the crap out of them, and get their confidence up, and be like, oh yeah. And hopefully, this is the game against the Saints. I'm hoping, but that don't always mean anything because it's any given Sunday.
It is, but you know, with Sean Payton on the sidelines because of him being suspended for the season, that team is just falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to see what one person can do for a team. And, you know, as the head coach, they're showing it this year. Without him, they are doing so poorly.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, the last 7 or 8 years, however long he's been the coach, I don't think it's been quite that long, but for the last few years that he's been the coach, I mean, they've really done pretty dang good. They've usually been towards the top of the NFC, and this year they're at the bottom. So, but talking about teams performing poorly or great, look at the Eagles, look at the Jets. You know, there's several teams out there, the Kansas City Chiefs, that right now their coaches are on the bubble. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season. I think there's going to be a lot of major coaching changes.
I'll make a prediction right now. By the 12th week, Rex Ryan's out. I'm telling you.
There's no disputing that. I think I'm surprised that he still has a job. Honestly,
I agree.
I'm actually surprised that Mark Sanchez is still
Starting quarterback.
I mean,
Yes.
he came out just this morning. Rex Ryan did and said Sanchez is still the guy, but they have a bye week this week, and so they're gonna see what kind of schemes they can come up with Tebow, and we'll see if we see more Tebow starting next week. But I'll tell you, at this point, you've got to make a change, and if I was Rex Ryan, I would definitely make a change at quarterback and see what happens. And you know, at this point, what have you got to lose?
Exactly.
What have you got to lose?
Even if you just put Tebow in for like the first half, if nothing changed, switch and put Mark Sanchez back in.
I'll tell you, I have told you, I don't know if I've said it on the show, but if I had 2 talented quarterbacks, supposedly talented quarterbacks, on my team like that, I wouldn't go with just one. I would mix it up, because then, you know, you bring in Sanchez for one set of downs, and then throw in Tebow for another set of downs, or swap them out every other play or every couple of plays. You keep the defense reeling because they can't get used to one specific style of playing.
I agree.
And Sanchez and Tebow play two completely different styles of quarterback. So if you played them like that, I'm willing to bet that those guys would be probably a winning team right now if they did that.
I'd agree.
So they do have some other factors affecting their team, but you know, who doesn't have injuries? So I don't think the injuries that they have helped put them where they're at. I think it's coaching and stubbornness not to try and change a little bit.
Well, you make a good point. It's not just the injuries, because I don't think one player really can make a difference. They make a big difference.
Peyton Manning.
Where they're at.
Peyton Manning. That's all I've got to say for my argument.
But I'll say this: what I'm getting at is, like, one of their biggest injuries, the Jets, is Darrelle Revis, out for the rest of the season with. Well, they say he might come back. I don't think he will, because they'll be out of contention for the playoffs, and so he ain't gonna have a chance to come back. So, but they still have other defensive players. A team can take him out of it and not make him be a non-factor by just not throwing to his direction, or doing other schemes to make him be less effective.
Right, but I do believe that one player can make a difference, and like I said, Peyton Manning being the prime example, because he is a playmaker.
Yes.
But if you don't have a guy like that, then, like I say, you got to mix it up.
Right.
I mean, you got to try a bunch of different things, and there are actually a lot of teams this year that are taking players from their roster spot, such as a wide receiver and or a running back or whatever, and they're moving them in position.
Yes.
And some running backs are now wide receivers and vice versa, and some wide receivers are playing defense,
Some wide
vice
receivers
versa.
are playing quarterback.
And it's working for the teams that are utilizing them that way.
Yes. Now,
Sometimes you got to do that.
I will agree with you there. My other person I'm going to use for an argument is everybody says, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying, bench Mike Vick, bench Mike Vick. He's no good. He's not doing you anything. I'll tell you what, he has been a bum, as much as I hate to say it, because look at how many turnovers he leads the league in turnovers. But he comes out yesterday, has a flawless game as far as turnovers, and they still lose. Why? Our defense gave up 3 touchdowns in the first 3 series that Atlanta had the ball. So obviously it's got to be, when you look at any team, obviously the case is going to be different for each one. But I don't care if you're Nick Foles, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees,
Eli Manning?
Manning. It doesn't matter what quarterback you are, Ben Roethlisberger, whatever. Your defense gives up 3 touchdowns in on their first 3 possessions. You're going to have a tough time winning that game.
A very tough time. Look at the Broncos. I mean, that's
what they do.
That's what they have done in a lot of their games at the start of this season, is given up 2 to 3 touchdowns, and then so for the rest of the game they're playing catch up.
Yep.
And as good as Peyton is, the rest of his team has not been
That's
there
what I'm saying.
to be able to bring them back from that. I mean, they've made some good runs, but they've lost some games that had they not gotten behind in the first 1 or 2 quarters, they possibly could have won those games.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
One player can be a difference maker, but it's still a team sport, and I don't even care if they brought Nick Foles in or whoever else they brought in. Give up 3 touchdowns like that, you're very seldom going to win a game.
the problem with Mike Vick giving up all these turnovers is the dude's trying to be a playmaker. I mean, it's not like he has butterfingers or anything else like that. He gets put into the situation where he's got to try and get outside the pocket and make a play.
Yep.
And that's when he unfortunately gets in trouble because his offensive line has not held the pocket for him enough that he can just sit back and make a good pass or whatever.
Yep.
So he's had to try and scramble to make plays. So that's a good argument there for him for not benching him. But on the other hand, if you go back and look at his game tape as a coach, and you're seeing that, well, he's making these mistakes, and it's not because of him making plays, then bench him. But do it as a disciplinary thing, and is what I would do is
To
do
motivate
that
him.
to try and motivate him.
Right.
But that would be the only reason why I would try and do that. But in the case of Mark Sanchez, the guy just is not. He's just not it. He's not an elite quarterback, and neither is Tebow. I mean, Tebow is only
Sanchez's first 2 seasons were just flukes. That's all I can say.
well, and Tebow. I mean, last season he had a hell of a season with Denver, but now he hasn't really been given that much of a chance because Sanchez is the starting quarterback. And I'm not saying that he could step in and pull out what he did in Denver with the Jets, but still, he's a good enough, capable quarterback that you need to give him more of a chance than what you have been giving him if you're Rex Ryan.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying, like I say, totally bench Sanchez, but mix it up.
Yeah.
So,
But do a wildcat or something.
yeah.
I agree.
I mean, they haven't even really done that much.
No.
So, anyway, I think that's probably been a show.
This has been the story so far. I'm Steven.
Hey, by the way, sorry.
Oh, freak. Here we go. What's up?
Well, I was going to say, on your phone you can do some video, can't you?
Yeah, I was going to do some while I'm down there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll be down in Huntington /Price this week, and I'll do some video and pass it along.
All right, we look forward to seeing that, and then, like I said, you'll see some stuff from Vegas, hopefully, and we'll just be chock full of videos this week.
Yes, sir.
So,
All right, story so far. I'm Steven.
I'm Aaron. We'll catch you next time.